Hello tanks and tankettes, and welcome to the very last of my contest results for the 15k subs and a bit more event that we've been having. I'm nearly at 20k subs now, but before anyone asks, and a couple have, some jokingly, some seriously, no, there's not going to be a 20k subs contest. One contest in the space of 6 months is quite enough. I can't even remember what the last one was. It was probably about a year ago, so that's more like 12 months. But anyway, more than enough. So, I have saved the best till last. We've had all the bracket winners, but I decided that I didn't want my very favourite tank in the game to be underrepresented, so I created a special prize just for the duck, the AMX40. And the winner of that got themselves a little bit of gold, and my appreciation because we're about to see a very entertaining AMX40 game. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the winner. And our winner is Slarty Bardfart. Yes, he who also won the Tier 1 to 4 bracket in the SU85B. He also took up the challenge of the AMX40, and not many people did. I had, I think, less than 10 submissions, but I was kind of expecting that. Even the promise of actually giving people in-game stuff, in this case a bit of gold, was not enough to entice people to play the AMX40, so yeah, apparently even bribery won't make people play this tank. I don't know why. It's wonderful, you guys. It's just the best tank. It's amazing, as we're going to see. So, you'll notice I've turned off shadows for this replay. I had some severe issues with the frame rate in a couple of places, and I eventually decided it was just the actual replay file itself. It may have been when Slarty was playing the replay, the frame rates rather, derped badly, and that's just reflected in the replay. I don't know, that's pure speculation, but as you can see from the frame rate counter, it's recording at about 70 FPS. It's the number in brackets that's relevant, and at times it drops down to about 10 on one or two occasions. That's just how well optimized the current World of Tanks engine is. It's it's showing its age. It used to run a bit better, and then all the new graphics stuff came in and all the physics, and wow, that was nice. The game engine struggled badly to keep up. They're talking about introducing a new version of Big World, and that's one of the reasons why it looks like the whole Havoc physics stuff has been delayed. It's just they want to basically get the new version of Big World in there, because I'm guessing with the current iteration that they're using, it creaks even more, and people are already having problems with frame rate in this game. So first target, a Hetzer, and he's got premium ammo loaded, heat, and he's going to need it for the Hetzer, believe me. The sloped armor on that thing presents a significant challenge to this gun. And this is the frame rate derpery I'm talking about, by the way. The heat ammo on this, well, there's heat ammo and then there's heat ammo. This heat ammo has, I believe, slightly worse penetration, or it might be slightly better, it's one either way, than the M3 Lee's regular ammo. So that tells you what the normal ammo's like. The normal ammo's like 74 average pen. It's not particularly good. It's not the worst at tier 4. I think the Panzer III has 67 average pen, but the Panzer III also has the mobility of a light tank and pretty decent frontal armour. So that's the Hetzer down, who was not particularly paying attention to the fact there was an AMX40 coming up round behind him, so that's always nice when you get the rear of a Hetzer. Back to AP now. He's actually spotted on the minimap that there's a whole bunch of stuff heading towards the cap, so he's flanking back round basically. Not in a particularly fast fashion, but hey, it's the AMX40. It gives you time to contemplate life. There is... people don't like this tank because it's slow and the gun's not very good. I don't mind slow, but yeah, it needs a better gun. There are a lot of tanks in this game, especially the newer ones, where you've got the choice between a lower pen but higher alpha gun, or a higher pen but lower alpha gun. The MX40 is not one of them. So there we go, he was hoping to get the Matilda in the back, but get the rear armour, back to the heat ammo, because of course. Takes one hit from the Matilda, and now he's side-scraping. Now this is why, even in lower tiers, depending on your side armour of course, side armour matters an awful lot, and your turret matters an awful lot as well, side-scraping is actually a viable technique in some tanks. So things like the B1, the D2, the AMX40, the Matilda, the Valentine, and probably a couple of others I'm not thinking of, side-scraping is actually a very valid tactic. Heck, even the DW2, which he's just encountered there and set on fire, you probably would do worse than to side-scraping that thing. depending on the target you're facing, of course. He took down the Matilda reasonably easy with... I'm guessing he was just using his weak spot knowledge, and the Matilda wasn't particularly using weak spot knowledge. Takes a hit from the T-46 in the back, but from the front, that's not such a problem. Artillery is trying to hit him all the while. The T-46, by the way, it's a tier 3. It gets a 37mm with better pen but worse alpha, and a 76mm, which is what the T-46 was using, with a better alpha but worse pen. And the MX-40 doesn't. It needs a better gun. It does. It needs a higher pen gun, basically. SU-76 trying to get round behind him, but the first shot misses and he's able to get his front towards the guy. Now he's just bouncing the shots. He rolls low, so it takes 2 shells to actually kill him, which is a little unfortunate. 1 shell would have been nice because he's in danger from artillery all the while, potentially anyway. He doesn't know exactly where they're firing from. They obviously could hit the middle area, but there are sort of limited opportunities for artillery on this map. The last friendly tank, a Stuart, took down the last enemy tank, an A-20, and now it's just him and 3 artillery. Now this could be a Pascucci's medal. He might not necessarily win though. He's down to 124 hit points. And we did have some winners who didn't actually necessarily win the battles they were in. It's just they did lots of damage before losing. And so it's potentially the case that one of those artillery is just going to derp him. And he'll still have won because he did lots of damage. But wouldn't it be nice if he got a Pascucci's in an MX-40? He's taking a risk here, of course. He could go back to the cap to defend, and if they turn up to try and cap, then he can take them out. That's fine. On the other hand, he could go to their cap to try and cap, and hope that they just hide or that they're all still sitting around there. It's a risk either way, and because he doesn't have the mobility to potentially get back in time, especially if there are more than 1 on the cap, heck, even if there is 1 on the cap, I'm not convinced you could in an MX-40 get from one circle to the other in time. But either way, he's going to see if he can see them and shoot them, and if he can't shoot them, then presumably he's just going to try capping himself. But there we are, 1 is spotted. Not in shooting range yet. It's got HE loaded, by the way, because with HE you could potentially one-shot these artilleries. They don't have a lot of hit points. And the HE pen isn't great, but generally speaking the superstructure on these RTs isn't great either. So, him for the M37, and he does one-shot him. Very nice, 1 down. And, oh, Sexton, hello. I think he either got splashed very close for 4 damage, or actually hit for 4 damage. And if the Sexton hit the wrong place, then with that gun I can well believe that it would only do 4 damage, because it's pretty bad. Now, none of Slarty's HE shells actually penned there, so it takes 3 to finish the guy off. But he's now killed 2 RT, there's 1 remaining, just to pick where this guy is. Oh, there he is, fires and misses, so Slarty just aims, doesn't want the shell to go where he doesn't want it to go. Another 1-shot kill, and bam, there we go. Pascucci's medal. Very nice. So let's take a look at the results. Unsurprisingly, an ace tanker. Along with his Pascucci's, he also got a high caliber medal and a top gun. He had 1,682 damage, nearly 1,700 damage, not too shabby at all when you consider the nature of this gun, and 1,250 base XP, which is very good indeed. Now, 8 kills in a tier 4 is not enough to get you a Pascucci's, not a Pascucci's, Radley Walters, because you can't get Radley Walters at tier 4 and below. I think you need to be at least tier 5. So, I think we'll just call it an honorary Radley Walters instead, because 8 kills with an AMX-40, that's pretty damn good. I think he possibly, I would need to do the sums, but possibly did as much damage, maybe more damage than the rest of his team combined, but actually looking at the damage counts for the rest of the team, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not good at my off the top of the head numbers, or just numbers generally, as we all know. On the enemy team, unsurprisingly, it was the Matilda that did the best with 1,100 damage. After that, it was the A-20. There weren't a lot of people that did a lot of damage on the enemy side, so that kind of worked in Slarty's favour. It was, as with all these replays, the case that his team was bad enough to leave him plenty of damage to do, but good enough to not die too quickly so that he didn't just get utterly mobbed by enemy tanks. And the one truly dangerous enemy that he did face, the Matilda, he was actually able to exploit his knowledge of weak spots to take that guy down, despite his lackluster penetration. So, there we are. I saved the best till last. I felt that was fairly entertaining. Obviously, when I do my next sub-contest at like 50k or whatever I decide it's going to be all AMX40 all the time. It's just going to be all the AMX40 results and prizes and... well, it'd be one way of limiting the number of entries I receive anyway. So if you enjoyed this replay, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.